I have always been proud to be an employee of this school division, but tonight I have to say some words I thought I would never, ever say, and that is I have no confidence in the ability of this board to properly lead this school division.
Like many have stated already, I have no confidence in this board to manage Spotsylvania County Schools. I've been an employee of Spotsylvania County Schools for 17 years. I am preparing my resume and submitting applications to surrounding counties as my choice, extending my choice to go someplace more hospitable and supportive of education than this board has shown.
I love my school community. I love my principals. I love my fellow teachers. I love all my coworkers. And most importantly, I love my students at Riverview. But I'm here tonight to inform the board that you have pushed me to my breaking point. To the board members that voted to fire Dr. Baker, your indignant behavior sickens me. I am disgusted and ashamed by your actions. Your lack of professionalism and respect for our school community is unacceptable, and I believe there must be a consequence for unacceptable behavior. So I have no choice but to seek out other school divisions where I can be of service to students with disabilities. Spotsylvania County Schools already has a deficit of special education teaching and support staff. Now you will have your behavior to cite for the reason that deficit will grow. Thank you.
I have recently relocated back to my hometown of Spotsylvania, Virginia. I graduated from Spotsylvania High School when it was the only high school, and when we held government courses taught by Ms. Durrett and Ms. Fry. I'm not sure that many of you know those esteemed teachers. I'm not here because I sit on any side of any issue. I'm here to honor the memory of my recently deceased father, William Randolph Taylor, who was a veteran of the United States Army and a Korean and Vietnam War veteran. My father was also the first recipient of the coveted Governor Spotswood Award for service to the citizens of Spotsylvania County. He attended many forums in Spotsylvania. He served on many boards. He was a graduate of John J. Wright School, so it is in his memory that I speak tonight. I also speak to you on the legacy of my great-grandfather, Alfred Fairchild, who built the original John J. Wright School. Mr. Twigg, as the chair, I am directing my comments to you directly, sir. So I ask for your full attention, and I ask for eye-to-eye contact, because that is what I was taught. I watched with disbelief the video of your actions at the previous meeting, and even more so tonight. I have watched you point your finger, particularly at the African American women on this board. I wondered, and as I sat there, I wondered what my father would say if he were here. I wondered how he would conduct himself. He was a very tall man, over 6 feet 4 inches, with a very loud, powerful voice. He was known as Big T to many. As tall and as big as he was, he never imposed himself on anyone or ever threatened anyone. He never talked over someone or belittled them for having a different opinion. He was an Army drill sergeant and a paratrooper. He understood that the mission was always for the greater good. He believed, Mr. Twigg, in decorum and respect and rule of law. He was elected as the leader for many organizations in Spotsylvania, and he learned to study Robert's Rules of Order so that he could be the best leader that he could be. I know that standing before you tonight to admonish you for your ignorance of Robert's Rules of Order will not accomplish much. You have a majority of the 4 members on this board who condone your lack of order and disrespect. I have watched them vote in tandem with you on every issue. There is not much that we can do. And because you have the majority, all that you have left to do is to be kind, because you're going to win your votes. So please Be kind to your fellow board members. Although I feel helpless that my hometown is nationally known now for the antics of a few people in our school board, I must always remember the leadership example that was set by my father. And I can't sit in my home and scream at the TV. I must fight for the students who deserve a school board that adheres to policy, that refrains from political discourse, and always, always ensures that every decision is made with the best interest of our students. Mr. Twigg, this is a new Spotsylvania. It's a new day. The plantations that existed in your district hundreds of years ago no longer exist. We have voices that will be heard. We are tax-paying citizens of Spotsylvania, and we have a united voice, one that we will continue to use in support of our students. In closing, Mr. Twigg and other board members, I respectfully ask you as the board chair to conduct yourself according to Robert's Rules of Order. It's not hard to do. And I know I have sat in your position on leadership boards. I know that it's hard to have dissenting opinions. I know that it's hard to hear public comment. But it's the responsibility that you accepted when you accepted the position as chair. So please, Mr. Twigg, I ask you to do better. We ask all of you to do better. Do better.
If I conducted my classroom the way you conducted that meeting, Mr. Twigg, I would be in an intervention plan immediately. I was aghast at your lack of understanding, your complete ineptitude. You are an embarrassment. You have no personal or political decorum.
I declare that
I
you
would like to
must
start out-
have respect and not demean people.
Mr. Twigg, point of order. People have freedom of speech.
I would
So
like
I'd
to start
like for
out
you
by
to
recognizing
maintain
that
your
there are bad
decorum.
teachers.
I would like for you to maintain your decorum and finish your speech, please.
As a student, I no longer feel that the majority of this board has my education in mind. As a school board, any motions passed are supposed to improve the environment for Spotsylvania County Schools residents. As one of the students you represent, I find it disheartening that it seems my education is now pushed to the back so that most of you can appease personal motives and political affiliations instead of your students and staff. School boards are not the place to implement politics. I would love to be a part of a community that works together, and that includes all of you. You all are supposed to be our examples. What example does interrupting, not being prepared, and ignoring established rules set? What example do you all think you have currently set? It is imperative that you listen to your constituents, especially your students and staff, for they are the ones who have to experience any emotions passed. But it seems that most students I know do not feel listened to. While only a few students can make it to the meetings for a variety of reasons, I know there are dozens of families watching at home. I know there are dozens of students who are angry and trying to find ways to get their voices across online. More people are watching than you think. Tonight's agenda started with masks. Science is not political. Right now, there are more student-aged individuals in the hospital on ventilators nationwide from COVID than ever before. It is still a national mandate to wear a mask. Some have mentioned this is the right of a parent to decide, but this is not about an individual child. This is about the health and safety of every child and staff member. We need masks. As the sister, granddaughter, friend, and student of immunocompromised individuals, I am worried. One of the most commonly anti-COVID phrases is that there is a 99.05 chance of surviving from COVID. In a county with almost 27,000 staff and students, a 99.05 chance of surviving still kills 1,349 individuals. That's the equivalent of almost an entire high school student body population.